my earliest memory of cooking, or even food, was from my parents. I might have been about 7 or 8 years old, and my dad decided to cook a Sunday breakfast, right? And he rarely cooked, but when he did, he threw down. I saw my dad cook, and I was like, you know what? I like that, I wanna be like him. School, I was pretty much a high achiever at school. In my last year of school, my dad passed away. And I kind of just was despondent to pretty much everything. Around 18, I started working for London Underground, progressed up to being a train driver. And I ended up being in that job for 20 years. So that was my day job. The food was on the side of that. I never actually intentionally set out to be or have a career as a chef. It kind of found me. People would come around, family and friends, I'd cook for them, and like, you got something here. Around the age of 28, I went to work in a gastro pub in Hampstead called the Duke of Hamilton. Actually, it was a friend of mine who owned it at the time. And he was like, do you know what? Come along, let me train you up to be a professional chef. And I was like, I don't know if that's what I want. But I said, all right, I accept challenges. I love challenges. And I don't look at things as opportunities as, oh, well, no, do it. If someone offers you something, do it. And if you don't know how to do it, say yes and learn how to do it after. Worked my way up to executive chef, and I realized it's not what I wanted to do in that environment. I said, if I'm gonna do this, I have to do it for myself. And I started a catering company. So King's Kitchen was a corporate events catering company. We did everything from catering for Uber to Apple. Man, you name it, we did everything. COVID hit in 2020, and everything overnight, as everyone knows, came to a standstill. At the time, it was really hard for me to accept losing my business, because it was a big deal. I had it for 12 years, I nurtured it, it was like my baby. Nevertheless, things happen for a reason. That was an incredible experience, an incredible journey. I am so grateful to have had that experience, because it's brought me to where I am now. So how I transitioned into private chefing from corporate catering is a little bit of a story behind this, but it's a cool story. So I've got a lot of inspirations, right? And there was a particular chef I used to follow on social media, and he was very much like me in terms of the type of food he was cooking, his style, his swag, everything was pretty much like mine. I'm flying to New York. I get on the plane, he's sitting next to me. Flew to New York, we're chopping up in the air, chatting. We swap details, exchange contact details, and he comes back to London and he calls me and he says, oh, I've got a job for X. Would you like to help me out? I'm like, hell yeah, when? And that job was for Idris Elba. And that's how I met the Elbas. It's one of my greatest culinary achievements is when I was asked to cater Idris and Sabrina Elba's wedding. So I got to cook in Michelin 5-star kitchens with Michelin chefs. That was pretty dope. African food, but predominantly West African food, has been underrepresented. It's not there yet. So with my cultural heritage, my experience, my skill set, I can mix all of that together and give our food the right representation.